Hello, my dear language learners. Welcome back to my channel, the place where we learn practical English. In today's lesson, we will be discussing 10 important English phrases that you can use in your everyday conversations. These phrases will not only help you express yourself better, but also make you sound like a native speaker. So grab a pen and a notebook and let's get started. If you like what I'm doing, please smash the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And now, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first phrase on our list is to have mixed feelings. Now, this phrase is used when you are uncertain or unsure about something. For example, you can say, "Oh, I have mixed feelings about going to the party tonight. On one hand, I want to have fun, I want to socialize with my friends, but on the other hand, I'm feeling tired and I have to get up early tomorrow." So you want to go to that party and at the same time you don't. That means that you have mixed feelings. One more example. This is Julia and she has recently been offered a new job. However, she has mixed feelings about accepting the job offer. The salary is great, but the workload seems overwhelming.
It's that I have mixed feelings about you.
I hate to admit this, but I have mixed feelings about this.
Moving on to our second phrase, we have throw in the towel. Now, if you throw in the towel, it means you give up and surrender. For instance, imagine you are playing a game of chess and you realize that you are losing. So you can say, "Oh, I'm going to throw in the towel and admit defeat." I'm going to throw in the towel, I'm going to give in, I'm going to give up and admit defeat. One more example. As you can see, he was running a marathon and he was determined to finish the marathon. But after running for hours in the scorching heat, he decided to throw in the towel. He didn't finish the marathon.
Don't throw in the towel.
He's talking about throwing in the towel.
The thing is, I'm not ready yet to throw in the towel.
Next up, we have to each their own. To each their own. Now, this phrase is used to express that everyone has their own preferences and opinions, and it's important to respect them. For example, if your friend likes a certain type of music that you don't quite enjoy, you can say, "Well, to each their own, I guess." To each their own, which means tastes differ. To each their own. One more example. I prefer reading physical books, but there are some people who prefer e-books. To each their own.
To each their own, I suppose.
Teach their own, you know?
Each his own.
Now let's talk about on the rocks. When a drink is served on the rocks, it means that it is served over ice cubes. You can use this phrase when ordering a drink at a bar. For example, you can say, "I'll have a whiskey on the rocks, please." Or, "I'll have a vodka on the rocks, please."
On the rocks? Vodka on the rocks.
Whiskey on the rocks?
I asked for whiskey on the rocks.
However, this phrase can also be used metaphorically to describe a relationship, such as a marriage, for example, or a situation that is experiencing some difficulties, that is in trouble. For example, their marriage is on the rocks since his infidelity. It means their marriage is failing, their marriage is in trouble since his infidelity. Their marriage is on the rocks since his infidelity.
Look, your marriage is on the rocks.
Your marriage was already on the rocks.
Mom and Dad have a marriage on the rocks.
Moving on, we have on the fence. Now, if you are on the fence, it means you are undecided or uncertain about something. For instance, if you're not sure whether to go on a vacation or save money, you can say, I'm still not sure about whether or not to go on a vacation this summer. I'm still on the fence whether or not to go on vacation this summer. I'm still on the fence whether or not to go on vacation this summer. I'm on the fence means I'm uncertain and unsure about it. So, I'm still on the fence whether or not to go on vacation this summer. One more example. She's on the fence about accepting that job offer because she is unsure whether it's the right fit for her. She's on the fence about accepting the job offer because she's unsure if it's the right fit for her.
I'm on the fence here.
I'm not convinced. Still on the fence.
You were on the fence.
I'm on the fence.
So he's still on the fence?
Our next phrase is from scratch. If you do something from scratch, it means you start from the very beginning. For example, if you make a cake using only basic ingredients, you can proudly say, I made this cake from scratch. I made this cake from scratch. One more example. When I moved to a new city, I had to build my social circle from scratch and make new friends. When I moved to a new city, I had to build my social circle from scratch and make new friends.
From scratch, yeah, from scratch.
We'll start from scratch. What about starting from scratch?
I can start from scratch.
Next up, we have bitter pill to swallow. When something is a bitter pill to swallow, it means it's difficult to accept or come to terms with. It's some unpleasant situation that is difficult to accept. For instance, if you fail an important test, an important exam, you can say, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but I'll try again. It's a bitter pill to swallow. I mean, it's difficult to accept this unpleasant situation. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but I'll try again. Or, getting laid off from my job was a bitter pill to swallow, but I knew I had to move on. Getting laid off from my job was a bitter pill to swallow, but I knew I had to move on.
It's just a bitter pill you have to swallow.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
What are you doing here?
I know this must be a tough pill to swallow.
It's a bitter pill, and we just have to swallow it.
Moving right along, we have in a pickle. Now, let me break it down for you. So, if you say that someone is in a pickle, it's just another way to say that someone is in trouble. They are in a difficult or challenging situation. For instance, he's in a pickle because he locked himself out of his apartment and he doesn't have a spare key. He's in a pickle. Why is he in a pickle? Because he locked himself out of his apartment and he doesn't have a spare key. One more example. This is Sarah, and she has just missed her flight. She's in a bit of a pickle. Why? Why is she in a pickle? Because she has an important meeting to attend. Sarah missed her flight, and now she is in a pickle because she has an important meeting to attend. Or, I'm in a pickle because I forgot my wallet at home and now I can't pay for my lunch. I forgot my wallet at home, so now I'm in a pickle because I can't pay for my lunch.
Holy moly, are we in a pickle now?
Homer, we're in a bit of a pickle.
A bit of a pickle. You certainly are.
One more useful phrase that you need to know in order to use in your everyday conversations is this one. Paint oneself into a corner. And the only thing you have to change in this phrase is the pronoun oneself. So it can be myself, yourself, himself, herself, ourselves, etc. This phrase means to put oneself in a difficult and limiting situation. Basically, when you create a problem for yourself, or when you do something that leaves you with no good choices, no good alternatives or solutions. For example, he painted himself into a corner by taking on too many projects. He painted himself into a corner by taking on too many projects. Or, I feel I've painted myself into a corner with this project deadline. I feel I've painted myself into a corner with this project deadline.
Hey, I painted myself into a corner here.
But we painted ourselves into a corner. And now, we have to paint ourselves out. I've painted myself into a corner and I can't.
But I bet he regrets it.
He's painted himself into a corner.
And last but not least, we have break the news. This phrase is used when someone has to share or deliver some important and sometimes unpleasant information. For example, I had a job interview, but I didn't get the job. So now I have to tell my parents somehow. So you can say, I have to break the news to my parents that I didn't get the job. I have to break the news to my parents that I didn't get the job. Or, the doctor gently broke the news to the patient that they had a serious illness. The doctor broke the news to the patient that they had a serious illness.
Patient X, how would you break the news?
Now I have to break the news to Vera.
Aunt Jenny, I hate to be the one to break the news, but...
Having to break the news.
Hate to break the news to you, but you sort of are.
I hate to break it to you.
How will we be breaking the news to the people?
And there you have it, 10 essential English phrases for everyday conversations. I really hope you found these phrases useful and can incorporate them in your daily conversations. Don't forget to practice and, most importantly, have fun with your English speaking skills. If you enjoyed this lesson, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more language-related content. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.